Good morning, community. Jill here with North Texas Vegetable Gardening Canning Recipes, a little bit of everything. I intentionally did not put music on at the beginning of the video when I was picking some of our things because I just wanted you to hear the quietness of the morning and kind of feel the cool of the morning. We are cool right now, but we're not going to be the rest of the weekend. Stay tuned. Oh, thank goodness. I think I got enough for a big old pot for all of us, and I will mix these with some of the red potatoes I picked a couple of weeks ago that we grew. So we will have fresh green beans and taters this weekend on this wonderful Memorial Day. Here's an update on my wood chip experiment. You can see my cucumbers are doing good, and look at these sunflowers coming up, and then I have some other flowers coming up here. These may be black-eyed Susans, so I'm so excited to have some fresh cut flowers to put on the table this weekend. So behind me here is our elderberries, and I got some bees over here pollinating. So guys, we planted these several years back, and we've had such a hard time getting elderberries off of it because of the heat here in Texas. So far, we've been very mild, thank goodness, and I'm hoping that we have a mild summer, or at least a normal summer. In fact, next week, my cold front's coming in, I think on Sunday, and we're going to be only in the mid to upper 70s next week. So you can see these bushes are huge, and look, right on down the line here, we have lots of elderberry plants, and we are really hoping and praying, let me get out of that sun, that we get some elderberries this year, because we have struggled with them. And we have a couple of trees we need to plant back here that will shade them. So if you do grow elderberries, or you're trying to, make sure they have a shaded spot for this old hot afternoon sun. So on down the line here, you can see the bushes are looking quite healthy. And we didn't prune them back this year, and we're gonna see if they rooted well and if maybe they'll produce for us. We have some pretty good looking apples on our apple tree. We've not really been successful with these either, but man, it's really loaded this year, so we will see what we get. We have struggled with the fire blight, and Greg has tried to fight it off, but we still have a great deal of issues, of problems with the fire blight, because we get so humid and the moisture really starts to affect these plants as we get into the summer. But who knows, maybe the good Lord will give us some apples this year. So Greg's getting the back acre prepped for maybe some pumpkins. We're going to try it. We've worked on this soil for a couple of years, and it is getting a little better, but our new plan is this. So they have been trimming trees heavily out here. We've had, you know, some high wind storms, and because of that, there's a lot of tree trimmers out here, and they come out here and they dump for us, and boy, we're really excited about this, honestly. Look, there's some pine cones, so there's some pine chips in there. And some pine needles. Ooh, that's some really good stuff. So we're excited to have this, and we've been using it, and we'll continue to use it. And there's some milk thistle growing wild right there. And you can see we have loads, literally loads of this mulch. This pine bark mulch really interests me. I'm very excited about that because pine is very good to build your soil. And so we're gonna start working on this, and Greg is going to spread this out pretty thick over at least, we might can get half an acre out of it, because they have continued to drop, you can see. And we probably might see some of them come out today, but let's keep going here. And I'll show you just how much we have. There's all kinds in here. All kinds of trees. Is this some more pine back in here? That kind of looks like a redwood, I'm not sure. And then we have all of these. Yeah, there's a big old log back there, and there's some logs here that we could get out for some firewood. I need to tell, oh yeah, it looks like a big old redwood. Yeah. So, you can see we have loads as far as the eye can see here of mulch. So this process is going to probably be about a 2 to 3 year process to get this spread out and let it just sit and maybe provide some minerals and stuff like that to it, but spread it very thick and let it just sit on half the acre, and hopefully we'll have us a good spot to start growing in a couple of years. And I know that seems like a long time, but guys, man, these years are just flying by. So yeah, we're gonna take it, we're gonna do it, and we're gonna give it a big shot. So Pop and I are now on the back porch snapping these green beans, and we're gonna have us some good dinner. Say good morning, Pop. Yeah, it looks like we got us about 3 meals here, guys, through the weekend. This is what I'm working with, my friends, so let's get started, and I'm gonna show you what we do with our first garden harvest of the season. A must when you're cooking your fresh green beans with some taters is we're going to saute some bacon and use the bacon grease. Woo, it's a big flavor. I've been waiting several weeks to use up these red taters, guys. I'm going to go ahead and throw in some onion in here and saute it. Next, I'm going to put garlic, but you want to hold off on your garlic. We want to wait for our onions to clarify a little bit, and then we'll add our garlic. They won't need very long to saute, and then we're going to add our green beans and our water and our taters. It's time to add our garlic. This is about 2.5 cloves, guys, and we're going to saute this a little bit. We've added 4 cups of water, and it helps to deglaze the bottom of the pot. We want to get that goodness off the bottom. And then we're going to add more water, and we're going to add our taters and let them boil a little bit before we put the green beans in, because it will take them a little bit longer to soften up. We've added our taters, and we're going to bring this up to a boil because we do want the taters to soften up before we add the green beans in, because again, it will take them a little bit longer, but boy, is this going to be good. All right, I've just added my green beans to my potato mixture with my bacon, my garlic, and my onions, and now we're just going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to lower it down to simmer, and we're going to let these simmer for quite some time, probably close to an hour. So while those are simmering, let's see what else is going on. While my green beans are cooking, I'm slicing up a red onion, probably about 1/2 of a large red onion, and I've got 2 of my fresh cucumbers, and I'm slicing about that thick. So we're going to keep slicing these, and then I have some basil over here, and I have just a little bit of dill. I've added the cherry tomatoes that you saw me picking this morning, and now we're going to add our dressing. I have 3 or 4 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, and then I have a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, and I have some of my fresh basil and some of my fresh dill. Let's add this and toss it up. Now this acts as a marinade, so you want to make this a little ahead of time before your dinner so that it has a chance in your refrigerator. And we're just going to add a little bit of dill here. And you want to season it with some salt and pepper. Let's toss this up. We are checking on our green beans, and you can see that they are now on a low simmer, and we're going to let this go on for about an hour. Oh my goodness. Here is our cucumber, tomato, purple onion salad with a little bit of basil and dill. We're going to cover this and put it in the fridge so it can marinate for several hours. Next on my list is to get me some zucchini and squash and onion going, so we will have plenty of vegetables for this upcoming weekend to eat. All right, we got a little bacon grease in our cast iron skillet, and I'm going to saute these onions up, and then I'm going to add my squash and zucchini with some salt and pepper. I've added my squash and zucchini in there after the onions got a little tenderized, a little clear, and we're going to saute these up. Now I know that bacon grease is a fan, or we in the South are a fan of the bacon grease, and guys, if you aren't, go ahead and use you some good old olive oil and do the very same thing. It's looking pretty good, guys. So we're going to keep sauteing it just a little bit longer. I'm going to put it in a casserole dish, and we're going to set it aside for dim din. There you have it, guys. That's the honest to goodness truth about growing your own food gardening. So historically, Memorial Day is when we have our big kickoff, because our harvests are starting to come in from our tomatoes and our squash and our zucchini. Harvested onions probably a couple of weeks back, We got our green beans starting to come in today. The next harvest, I'll be canning our green beans. And so threw in some recipes for you so you could see exactly what it means to grow your own food, especially this time of year when we're coming into early harvest. And we will be able to harvest these probably for the next month at least. And we are expecting our tomatoes to come in the coming weeks. And we will be doing more videos. So if you want to learn more, I'm going to make some onion rings over the weekend. I'm going to make some fried green tomatoes over the weekend. So you want to go ahead and give us a thumbs up and hit a subscribe. We love you all, and I'm glad you watched. I think that this hopefully will be some inspiration for you all to start getting out there and growing your own food. We enjoyed you visiting us. Thank you so very much, and we will see you soon. Love you.